Peace, love, and blessings, fam. This video that I'm about to do is a continuation from when I was with my guardian and the three beings. I was brought to this castle, and well, castle-like, but into a chamber where I was in the room with these hieroglyphs, symbols on the stone, and I was receiving memories of past lives that I've had. So where I left off was the last stone that I was to watch, and this stone was a symbol, and my guardian, she had instructed me to look at the stone. So I did, and immediately I began to get so emotional because I could see it was like a picture that came into my mind, and I was reliving it all over again. So what happened was I saw myself, in a tree, and this tree was huge, like huge tree. And I recall sitting in the tree on the branch. And as I'm sitting in the tree, I realized that that it's so many leaves, like greenery. It was the most beautiful tree, and it was alive. Like, you know, like I could see the leaves moving, like they were alive, literally alive. And so I recall looking all the way down, and I was seeing a lot of people. There was this house on the corner, and there's like so many people outside this house on the corner, and there were like a commotion going on, like a fight. And as I'm looking down at this tree, I realized that not at the tree, at the street where the people are, I realized that people don't see me up in this tree. I don't even know if they see the tree, that because this tree is huge. It's huge. So for some reason, I hear a conversation, like in my head. I hear a conversation, so I'm not alone in the tree. And I look to the right and above, and I see birds. But these are not your typical birds. These are like if you want to say like angels. They look like angels in that form, to better understand it in our human, brain. There was like a bird head. Some had bird heads, and some were just regular face like mine. But for the most part, the majority of them had bird heads, and they had brown body, was black head with black wings, and brown bodies, like a body like us. So I was amazed because I've never seen anything like that in my life, So I'm looking at them, and the whole tree is full of them, like literally sitting, and they're watching the commotion down at the bottom as well. The people are like, they're ready to fight. They're ready to fight. Like it's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad. So as they flew down, because now the wings like that. So they fly down, but I realized that as far as they were, my eyesight, and I wear glasses, so my eyesight was so clear, like I could see, but I could also see that the majority of people that were there, most of them were spirits, like shadow beings, like that. So these people were starting arguments and fighting or whatever, or about to fight. I felt like they were being pushed by these shadow beings, you know what I mean, feeding off from them. So all of a sudden, I'm sitting, I'm watching in amazement as the bird beings go down, and they fly within an instant. They're there, and the wings just, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And as they got down, the wings folded back down like so, but I saw them putting out their hands, So I'm still amazed, like, wow, I get to witness this, you know what I mean? So with thought, like instant, like something instantly, I felt my back like a discomfort. It wasn't painful, but it was like a discomfort. Well, like an ache, yeah? And I felt something coming out of my back, and I was like, what is that? And then all of a sudden, I got wings. I have black wings. I saw them come like that, cocoon me, and I was shocked, excited, tearful, because I'd always, seen myself flying. So I fly down, immediately fly down with an instant, just fly down. As I flew down, I had a person, because I realized that every bird being had a person that they were responsible for. So, or watching. So I had a person, and I remember going behind this person, and I got behind her and I stretched out my hand just with an instant, strike out my hand like so, like stuck it out so, like in a prayer, you know, with the energy was coming out, literally coming out, so that these people could calm down, or the person that I'm responsible for to calm down. And within that moment, the shadow beings began to disappear like that, because the energy that we, the bird people, we had, we, or the angels, however you want to call it, that had, that it was strong enough to make these black shadows disappear. So they disappeared, and all of a sudden the energy calmed down. The people are no longer wanting to fight like the way they wanted to, and people were beginning to be emotional and so forth. And next thing you know, we fly back up to the tree, in the tree, and as we go up in the tree, we're having a communication, you know, and like literally an introduction. And I felt like, oh, you're here, like that, you know what I mean, when you haven't seen someone in a while. It's like, oh, you're here, you're here, yes. And you know, like I'm having this conversation with people I don't even know, and I'm just amazed at how they look. But at the same time, I'm not even scared, you know, just having a conversation and feeling the love from these beings, the love, but also the power and the strength at the same time was completely overwhelming. So now we began to look down, and as we looked down, we stayed up in the tree, and we were watching. So now we're the watchers. I literally felt like I was the watcher of this person, like I was the guardian of this person. You know what I mean? And it was such a overwhelming, like a mother to a child. You watch over that child, and you're responsible for that child, and no harm to come to that child, because it is not time for that child to leave you, or leave that presence, you know what I mean, or that place into another realm. You get what I'm saying? That's the way it felt. That's the way it felt, because, you know, as an empath, I feel. So I feel that is a communication for me. So I recall just feeling emotional, and all of a sudden the wings just came out and just comforted me. Oh, it was the most beautiful thing ever. And I could feel the warmth from my own wings just comfort me, because I felt like that was my child that I was watching over, even though I was like the guardian for that person. And but it was like a mother to a child. That's the best way I can explain it. And no harm. I would allow no harm to come to that child, because it wasn't, when I say child, it was an adult, yes, but probably young, like in 20s, you know, like that. And the people began to, you know, like I said, they started to leave, you know, like from the argument and so forth. So it just calmed down, completely calmed down. But some were still sending energy, healing, if you want to say, like a calmness to that area. Like literally, I'm not kidding you, just like a calmness just went. But the bird beings, some that with the bird head, they were like very focused, like very literally very focused on the situation, and was watching. And so I felt like wherever that person went, that bird would fly to that person, to watch over them like a guardian, literally. So I come out of that vision, you know, out of that, you know, from the stone, you know, where the hieroglyph was. So now I come out of that, and I look up to my guardian, and I just got so emotional. And I felt like me and her, we are the same. I am a guardian just like her. She's guarding me. And it was like she was saying, like, she's watching me, and then I watch over her when she take a life, you know, when she does. But the other three, I'll tell you the story about the other three. So now I'm sitting on the stone, like a bench, and in the far off corner. I'm sitting there because I'm overwhelmed and I'm crying. And by now I know who my guardian is. I know her name. And she was communicating with me saying that, she's always there. When I feel tall and when I feel powerful, know that is she giving me strength. Ugh, it's just so emotional. And I could feel it's like this is my soul family. Get what I'm saying? Because a lot of people have soul families, but a lot of people are not aware that they have a soul family, And as I looked to the door and I saw, because she continued to communicate with me, and the memory came back to me to what she was to me, you know what I mean? And then I realized in the moment when I looked and I saw the three beings, by now I know the name of the beings because they are my guides. Those were my guides, my spirit guides, And so I was overwhelmed because we're a soul family. This is my family. And he said to me, the one in the middle, the male, because the other two, the light blue beings, they are females. And the man, he said to me, he wanted to show me something. He wanted to take me somewhere else. So I said, yes, of course. So as we got together, and within a flash, I already knew where with thought to project myself. Boom. So it's like we jump from this place to the next place, and I'm outside this mountain. And I recall looking, and I could see mountains, it looked like grass on the mountain. It literally looked like grass and like green leaves. I saw trees afar, the sun. I mean, it was such a warmth as to where this place, I couldn't tell you exactly where it is. Honest to goodness, it felt like another dimension because they were, nothing seemed familiar to me, as to say I'm here on earth. That I know I was not. I can tell you that for sure. I definitely wasn't on earth. But I recall looking and I could see where we were, and I could feel something tingling under my feet, like electrical pulses like that. And I looked down and I could see the grass. It is the most beautiful green I've ever seen. This green is like, it was alive. The grass was alive. They were alive. It was like electrical pulses, like they were sending like energy, if you could call it that. Like I could feel it. I could literally feel it. 'Cause for the first time I could feel my feet. But it was such a comforting, it was like little centipedes like that, under your feet. Not in a painful way, but very soft, like very soft. So I saw flowers. They were the most beautiful. I saw red, yellow, white, beautiful flowers, but not the typical colors that I related to red, white, like beautiful colors. And I could see like a forest. I say forest, but it's like so many big trees. The mountain was huge mountains, a lot of mountains, but they were like grass on top of the mountain, not the complete, but just some parts. So as we're walking along the path, and I kid you not, there's the grass. It's the grass. It's the grass. The path is the grass. So we're walking, and the two females are behind, So as I saw the entry, like so, huge entry. Now, at this point in time, I realized, remember when I told you that I felt like they were 7 feet tall. So after I had my, knowing, like to know who I am, and, knowing everything about my dreams and so forth that I thought were dreams, it just wasn't dreams, and how they were tall. After all of that happened, when we snapped like that, I was at the same height as them. But it didn't feel like it. You get what I'm saying? But I realized when we were going into the mountain, inside of the mountain, how tall the door, like it was taller. And then I'm looking at him, but I'm making eye contact with him. So now I'm at the same height as these people. You see what I'm saying? So I go inside and I see people, they're all wearing like robes, like robes, some with hoods, like so, but the head is big head, and they had hoods like right to here, and you could see the head, and they some had the diamond shape right here. Some had different color, stones, and I recall people spreading out as I came in, and some were waving afar as they turned around to see who was coming in, and they looked at me like, and called me by a name that's not my name here. It was a total different name, and I responded. It was like someone call you by your original name, your soul name, like that. You know what I mean? I responded, and I never saw these people a day in my life, and I felt like I was at home with family, and they were there greeting me with love. Like when you go to a family cookout or a family function, and your family is there, like that is the way it felt. And we're walking in, and I realized the further I go into the mountains, it looked like a city inside of the mountain. And some people were tall, like taller. I felt like maybe 15 feet, literally 15. Some were even taller. And I was shocked that I was just as tall as the blue beings. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking at them, but I'm not as tall as my guardian. You see what I'm saying? So, because she's about 20 feet. But as I walk further and further in, I could see, it looked like these little lanterns, like lights, but they were like little lanterns. But I don't know, that's the best way I can say it. And as I look up, it looked like, we call apartments, but like that from afar, like I could see, like some people were coming out, because it was like, everybody speaks like this. So they were saying like I'm there. And so people were coming out to see me from up above, like looking down and walking down and coming to me and stuff like that. And I was so, the love. So as I go in further, because now I'm going deep in, I start seeing crafts flying, like literally, but they're like a tic-tac, like that type of, I don't know, that's the best I can say. It's like a oval, but they were like lights. They flew like lights, just flying by. That's how huge inside the mountain was. You see, it was a city within the mountain. So now I recall asking my guide, I said to him, is my mother here? Because my mother had passed. So I just was like, is my mother here? And so within that moment, he said to me, your mom is not here, but she's on a different plane. So I said, a different place. So I said, I want to see my mom. And within that instant, he said, think of your mother. So I thought of my mother. And within the instant, I felt something pull me from my back, like that. And within that moment, it was like I flew back like this. And as I flew back, I went up into the sky. Immediately went up into the sky, and I was going so fast, and I was trying to control my thoughts, because I remember them telling me before, everything is in thought. I can control however I want, slow, speed, however, even to protect myself, defend myself. I can do that. So I remember going far up in the sky, like I came out of that place, and I'm in another place, another I want to say realm. That's the best way I can put it, because that's what it was. And all of a sudden, I'm floating up, and I'm looking around, and it's like purple blue sky. Like, you ever see the night sky so blue, it almost looks like a purple hint to it, a purple hue to it. So I look, and I see mountains, and I'm, where's my mother? And I'm thinking, where's my mother? And all of a sudden I see all this water, and I can see the moon, and it's so bright to the point where I could see the water, and then boom, I go into the water. I get scared because it's dark. It's literally dark in there. So I go into the water and swoop, like a dolphin. Because you know how fast a dolphin can swim. So I go immediately. I start like that, and I recall, no joke, no joke. There was this woman. She wasn't my mother. There was this woman there, and she was in the water. But you know I can't swim. So I go in and I see this woman, and she's waiting for me, like literally waiting for me. And I stop within speed, stop. And I see her, and then I'm gonna take you to your mother. And we took off to my mother, to where my mother was. Now, when I get to where my mother is, it was like a condominium, it was like a brick, like stone. When I say brick, it's like stone, because it's like stone, white stones. And inside, as I go, I don't even know if I don't think I was walking. It was just like going, you know? And as soon as I went into this stone-like place, it was like, you know, I guess we're still underwater, because it didn't feel like it, but I knew I was in the water because I flew into the water, or dropped into the water. And this woman, she took me to this stone-like built place. And as I walked in, because now we go in, and now I'm walking in, okay? And I recall seeing so many people. I've never seen these people before. And this woman, she walked with me. She came with me. And as we walked through this like long hall corridor, and I recall a lot of people, some people were waiting online for something. I don't know what they were waiting online for, but it was just like they were online going somewhere or whatever. And I remember seeing a doorway where some people were going in to go up the stairs or something like that, if that makes sense, because it was like stairs. So now I saw this huge wall to the right. As she's with me, she's on my left walking with me, and no talking like this, but so I recall looking at the wall, because I remember there was a medium that in New York. His name is Paul Siegel, and I remember going to a mediumship of his, and he said to me, if you ever come out of realm or out of body, always look at yourself. See who your true self is, because it will show itself to you, you know, because you are not this flesh. You are not this flesh. This is just flesh. So I see the wall, huge, and it is a reflection, like a mirror. So I said, oh, I have to look at myself. So as I'm walking and I'm looking at myself, I saw colors. I saw my aura. I saw colors even of the being that was with me, the lady that was with me, she was guiding me. She was the guide. And I saw blue. Remember now, I'm blue because of the blue beings, and purple. So, and those are my two favorite colors. That to this day, those are the only two colors that I resonate with. So as soon as I saw that, it was like if you look in the sky at night, you see a star, how a star looks like that. And it was alive, like an energy pulse. So I was not of this flesh. Do you see what I'm saying? And immediately I was emotional. And I recall looking at her, and her color was so bright as mine. And then, so now as I did that, I'm now looking at people, and I'm seeing their colors, because everyone has their own, you see? So I'm seeing people like right through them. And I started to walk up the stairs. She's taking me up the stairs, you know, and then we go down the corridor and to my mother's room, because people are going upstairs or whatever, like to their floor, because everyone has a floor, a level like that. Okay, because we all have a level, just like here we have a level, even a level of understanding, a level of spiritual growth. And I recall even with education. So I recall getting to my mother's door, her room, and I remember she saying to me, this is where your mother is. Let me tell you something. I have not seen my mother in 2000, since 2002. She passed away. When I saw her, I never saw my mother like that before. She was, the youthfulness that she had, and the color, her light was so, I've never seen my mother glow like that before. And I just ran to her and I hugged her, and you know, we had a conversation, and she was so happy to see me, but it was not like a weeping, you know, because you know, I wanted to stay there with her, but she said to me that this is not for me to be here, you know, that I had to go back. And I was overwhelmed. I wanted to cry. And I did. You know, like a little tear. I felt a tear. And I wanted to know where my father was, you know. And she said, next time, just like that. And I said, okay. And I just looked at her, and I didn't want to stop looking at her. I literally did not want to stop looking at her. So I got pulled, and she said, next time. And she said, I love you. And I said, I love you too. And then I got pulled just like that. And I went back to the mountain, you know, the guide, she guided me. And I literally, to the entry where I came in, she guided me. That's further she took me, right? And I felt a pull, and I just was out of the water. And I recall looking, and I see the mountains, and then I felt another pull, and and I said, I'm going too far. I'm going to get lost. Because let me tell you something. As I'm being pulled, I'm watching everything, and I could see the places, like the clouds and so forth, and I get pulled out of there, and then I go to another place, and I see the places like lights, and I could see the greenery and like literally, I'm not kidding you. And then poof, I get pulled again. So I've been through many places, like I'm watching from above, and then I could see the ball shape. I'm not gonna say it's a globe, but I could see this. And then I get pulled out of that, the whole thing, through the clouds, and I'm literally watching from the outside. And I'm in water, okay? And I'm in water. So I'm looking from afar down at these places. So let me move fast forward back, because, you know, I don't want to go too long with this video. But I recall the three beings waiting for me. Yes? So as they're waiting for me, and I'm very grateful and humble, and I'm saying thank you, because I have not seen my mom in so many years. I mean, in that, it felt so real to me. I had not seen my mom in that realness in so many years, and you know, where I could touch her and we could have a conversation, and we did, and they was also grateful as well. So we were both thanking, or four of us thanking each other, and they guided me to the ship, and I get on the ship, and that's when remember I told you there was three beings. Well, actually there was three across from me and two beside me. So we're sitting across, we're facing each other. So as I get on the ship, the egg-shaped chair, and literally, I tell you, it felt like you're inside your mother's womb, or womb, W-O-M-B, womb. And I remember him saying to me, he told me I knew his name. He said, they pick up, they're picking up the star seeds, they're picking up the healers and the empaths. Okay? These are the people. I believe it was the fourth. I want to say indigo, but because I remember the three, definitely the three. He said they were picking up these. They need to know, you know, where they're from, and you know, to go back and remember, you know, because we have to wake up. We got to wake the people up. You know what I mean? To know that they're very powerful. This is nothing like weak. This is not weakness. And you know, like I said, the lives that we've had, this is very real. This is very real. And we have to wake up the empaths, the healers, the star seeds, because they're needed now more than ever to lead. We have to wake up the people and be there for the people and guide people, because people have answers and they don't know where to go. Or if they do, I don't want to say misled, but a lot of times that's what's happened. So we're here for a purpose. A lot of us are here for, and we're waking up. So people say, oh, I didn't wake up at this time. And that it's never too late. It's never too late. We're needed more now than ever. And a lot of us are getting woken up in our dreams, in our daily life, visions, just in visions and just in thought. If a thought comes in, something, a smell, a scent, a sign, or something, that is going to trigger the you know, the individual or the beings, because we are beings, we are spiritual beings as well. So, but I just wanted to share. Oh, so when I get to the ship, and he told me about, you know, who they were picking up, these were the people, and they were getting more people, and to go home, you know, for memory. And that's when I'm sorry, because I don't want people thinking I'm doing hand signs or anything like that. I talk with my hands, you know, don't connect me with none of that stuff, because some people, you know, get a little too much into this, you know, about, oh, you're doing a symbol or sign or something like that, like, you know, that means this and that. That's not where I'm coming from. But they are waking people up because you know, of what's happening, the awakening. And that's the purpose why we're here. We're here to help, you know, a lot of us. It's going to be a lot. You see what's going on in the planet, across the world. A lot of people are waking up, and there's nothing wrong with, never too late, never too old, too young, none of that. Remember, it's just a number. It's just a number, because our soul is ageless, you know what I mean? And we have many experiences. So, and we have to connect and wake up and help, and know that this is who we are, you know, the heal, you know, to heal. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And I'm sorry, I do apologize for the long wait, because this is very emotional for me. And, you know, because I talked about my mom, and, you know, knowing who I was, like a guardian and a healer, and I know that I'm an empath. So all these emotion comes up. Is very, it's hard, you know, to not cry, you know, and that's quite normal. But I do thank you guys for, you know, watching my videos. And oh yes, before I forget, you see how I get distracted? Someone wanted to know how I got back in my body. So as I'm on the ship, yeah, and the ship is, and I couldn't even feel the ship going lifting up or anything like that, but it's like, I think the ship was cloaked, because, like, I say that because I could see everything, like literally everything. It's like the walls disappeared, because remember now, it's like a cream color on the ship. And the 6 of us, because we're like, and I know who they are. I know who they are. And I've only met 2 of them in life. But I even said to the woman one time, I said, this is years ago. I said, you look very familiar to me. You know, I said, have I seen you before? You know, and I'm naming the places where, you know, we were growing up and so forth. And she says, no. And she said, I look familiar to her as well. So I said, and, you know, because, you know, I work in the hospital too. So, you know, a lot of us spiritual people, we work in the hospital because we are healers. And not necessarily mean you have to lay hands on someone to heal, but we have to be, well, of service to others, you see. And a lot of us do this work. We do work in the medical field, you know. But I recall that, and she remembered me, you know, as we are on the ship going back, you know, because then we're getting dropped off or whatever. But as that happened, we were so high up, and I recall just going from night to day to night like that. And I recall the goodbyes, you know? And all of a sudden, it's like now I have this power within me. Like I can be in 2, 3 different places at once. I know that sounds very, but that's how I feel. Remember, I feel more powerful coming back than I did going. Okay. So within that instant, after the goodbyes, and you know, the other 5 people on the, you know, in the cocoon, I said to them, or the egg-shaped chair, I said to them, I will see them soon. And it was just like that. And all with thought, like that, I project my body and just pulled, like literally like a pull. And I was going so fast out of the ship. Like I just snapped and I'm out of the ship. And I recall flying through the, like, I could see the stars, you know, and I could see the clouds. And then I'm right above my house, and I just went right in, and I could see myself laying down. Like I'm coming down fast, and I could see myself laying down. I just dropped into my body, just like that. Literally dropped into my body, because I could see, and I could see the cord. There's like I forget the name of it, but it's like an umbilical cord, and I could see that cord, that spiritual, yeah, like a string, like that, but it's spiritual, like, you know, like a, I don't know how to put it in words, but it's like a tether string, like that. But I could see that as I'm flying back into it, or dropping back into it, and in my body, just like that. And as I'm in my body now, and I could feel myself just shake. And I kid you not, when I woke up with like this. And normally, you know how you get up, you're like, you know, you kind of lay there for a minute, you know. You do this and that and that, and then all of a sudden I just woke up like this, my spine just became more elongated, you know. But yeah, so this time for real, I'm going to say goodbye, because you know I can go on and on and on, but I will definitely tell the next story maybe when I maybe when I get to because I have to go to work. I had to be to work at 7, because I work nights. So some people were saying, well, just a couple, like 2 people were saying, why can't I sleep at night? And that, well, I work nights. So I work 7 p.m. to 7 in the morning. So that is why. But for the most part, I sleep at night sometime as well, through the night, actually. But I will definitely tell the story about Paul Siegel, because he's a well, not a psychic, but he's a medium. He's a medium, and in New York, and he had a mediumship workshop. And I recall an exercise with him, and I saw something in someone. So could you hear people talk about, oh, how some people you just like shadow, not really shadow being, well, yeah, I guess a walk-in like that, or you might want to call them what do they call skin sleeves or something they want to call it, or something like that. Yeah, I saw one of them, and let me tell, I'm gonna end this video and record that story, because that one was a shocker, you know what I mean? Because it was like about 100 of us in there, healers, empaths, psychics, indigos were there. There was a lot of us in there. And be careful who is around you, because people are not who they seem. Anyway, peace and love, family.